Make sure I'm clear, is when you have it at a certain size, let's say it's 500 pixels wide, whatever it is, 775 for the entire thing, you put the picture in there that's 800 pixels wide, it's going to expand. All right? No matter what, that's HTML. It's going to expand. All right? Make sure you account for that. Demonstration, do I have time? I have time. All right. Oh, here we go. Here's ResHub.com. And you can see I still have blue icons right there, but I have a little eye in there. All right, instead of the little question mark. That's something that we did because we were told to. But basically, that's an example of changing the DNN icons. It's very simple. It didn't really change the core, even though I got rid of, overwrote some icons. All right. Yes, sir.
We've had this conversation in user group before about the icons. There's still a problem with if you have a skin that's dark, like our DNN inspired skin is dark. Okay? And if I put another portal in that same instance, right?
Yes.
And the other portal has a white skin. If I've changed my icons to match my dark skin on being inspired, those same icons are shared with each portal.
That is a problem. I should have brought that up, yeah. You can have a shirt.
It wasn't really a question, but I know that.
No, that's very great to bring up. Yeah, the DNN icons are for the entire installation of DNN. So if you change them for just your skin, and let's say maybe you're a web host, okay, and you're using DNN as your business model. If you change your DNN icons for your installation in that controls directory, every single child portal in there will have those same icons. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Any other questions on that? No? Okay. All right, we're going to the demonstration. All right, so let's show you a skin package. So in my web drive, I have a web folder, web directory. I have a skins folder. Whenever it highlights. This stuff only happens in presentations, right? There it goes. All right. So I have some skin names. These are package names for the skins. All right. You can see I have containers. Got a containers folder. Got a skins folder. Container zip, skin zip, and the main container or the main skin package folder or zip file. Now, something I want to hit on real quick. You see how long that file name is? You might not want to do that. That would probably be better as that. Can anybody tell me why? Free shirt? Yes, sir.
When you go to install it, you won't be able to read everything to the right.
Exactly. You get a shirt. What he said is when you install it and somebody's looking at using your skin name is going to be in all these drop-down menus when you go to select a container file for a module or when you select the skin file for a page. All right. The shorter that your skin file name is, the more of it's going to show up in that drop-down menu. All right. If you name it, strollsitedesign.com, whatever skin name, all they're going to see is strollsitedesign.com. That's it. The rest of it they're not going to know, so they're going to have to select it and choose it, and they're going to get really tired of it and choose something else. Okay. If you want a shirt, sir, please come and get it. All right. Any other questions on that? Okay. So basically, when we start looking at a skin folder, all right, here's my about folder. That's where my about images are. Here's where I keep my images, so that way I keep them separate and everything's a little compact and tight. Got about HTML. Let's look at a skin file.
Well, can you talk about the about file?
Sure. What would you like to know? Let's look at that. Because it's a little bit different than the regular skin, so if you've seen skin. You see there's nothing crazy about this. It has doc type, HTML, header, body. It's a little bit inline CSS. Okay? And then just some HTML in a table format. I'm sorry. All right? So there's nothing. Now you see it's not localized, and there's nothing DNN related in there. So when it renders, if you look at the URL, it's just about HTML. It doesn't throw it through any type of .NET processes or anything like that. You just look at a static HTML page. Why am I using that? I don't know. All right. So let's not look at admin. Let's look at something with a few more pains. Does anybody know the difference why people call certain skins an admin skin? What's that?
It's recommended for the administrative pages and has fewer pages.
Yes, it's recommended for the administrative pages because it has fewer pages. That's what he said. And the reason being is usually you have like a skin called an admin skin, and it usually only has the content pane and that's it. So that way it accounts for whatever is going to be in there, and that better be expandable because there's some DNN core admin modules that do expand your skin. So it's just the content pane and no other panes. Okay, does that make sense? Yes? Yes, sir.
Might be a lot of the wrong skinning, but the admin skin is used for in-between pages with a lot of modules where you're working through a module that is exposed to the user.
Exactly.
Any way to override that setting because that has created massive havoc in more.
I've seen that discussed in the forums, and I think there was talks, and maybe they will discuss this later, but I think there was talks of changing the skins for the admin pages as well. I remember seeing either a blog post or a forum post on that. So maybe that'll be addressed later, but other than that, you can't change it easily. There are some kind of hacks to do it, but you're changing the core to do that. Any other questions? And that's a great question, too. You know, please get a shirt. Nobody's getting shirts. I'm going to have to start throwing them at you like some rock concert, right? I will if you don't get them. All right. Okay, so you see, here's an example. I got Portal Orange Line. I got a skin called Portal Orange Line. One's HTML, obviously, because it's the skin file. One's JPEG, because it's a image, all right? And so if we look at it, because it's about a portal, what size? Large? Extra large. Oop. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh. Thanks, Mike. All right, so as you look at it, you can see that it has the entire page on here. So when somebody looks at that, when it's installed, they can say, okay, this is exactly what it's going to look like. So there's nothing special about it. It's just a full-size representation. But DNN creates that thumbnail for you, so it's just a smaller size. All right. Now let's look at a skin file. All right. Something you'll see immediately is I don't have any header information in here. In your skin file, all you want is everything that's supposed to be between the body tags. All right? Now, it'll still work if you don't do that, but it won't be HTML compliant or even close to it. Okay? So if we look at this, you can see from a designer's perspective, we got HTML in there. We got some skin objects. You see logo, sole part menu. Here's that current date. So from a designer's perspective, even though you see some height things in here, I picked the wrong skin. You can see that there's nothing in here that a designer will be confused about. It's just straight HTML. There's a skin.css. Although I usually have my skin with single lines, like that, everything in a single line. This one is all broken out. But basically in your CSS, you might want to get into the habit of, even though it's not as readable, writing your CSS without your spaces and your line breaks. It's a little bit better performing, and your file sizes will decrease as well. So as you can see in here, not pure CSS, I should not use that term. Just normal CSS, all right? Nothing out of the ordinary here. So if you're not familiar with skinning, so far I hope I haven't shown you anything that's discouraged you from skinning. Is anybody here confused? I know you won't raise your hand, but I would hope you would. No? All right. So as we can see, let me bring this to a different view so you can see them all. I got some multiple types of admins just because one has a blue line, one has a green line, orange line, and so on. I got multiple types of the portal because they have different color schemes slightly. All right. And there is a skin HTML or XML. XML. So now this is where some of you designers are going to be confused. There's great documentation on this on the DNN site on what this does, but the best thing you can do is copy and paste it from somewhere else and change it. For some of you who are not familiar with XML or other languages, that's usually the best teaching tool. You see, okay, well, I know this XML file is on this site, and I know what it looks like. I'll bring it up here. Let me change something. I'll upload